Well, we're kind of on a journey here to develop different parts of our game, and we've been a real good rush team historically. But that's not the game that the Islanders allow to happen. So we need to find a way. You get into a game, you get your power play chances, but nothing goes. You still need to be able to find a way to win 5-on-5 hockey. We got enough zone time. We had, scored our 2 goals off it. So that was the most important thing. Then it was I walked away. It was fun. It's a fun bunch of guys on the bench. Like they're serious and they're playing hard, but they got a good sense of humor and they seem to like playing with each other. They chirp each other pretty good. It's a fun environment back there.
And even though it's one game out of 82 and one win, is it important for the guys to see some positive results like that to open the season?
As long as, especially in the flow of the game. So even if you lose the game, if you're playing in the right end, you're doing the right things, you got your chances. Like Chuck will tell you that he's should have had 4, right? So that's there, that they have something to get excited about the next game. Is there enough offense there? Do we generate it from doing hard things? Bob was happy with what he saw in the net in terms of some box outs and some things like that. So that's really important, that the things that we worked on, they can see them in the game.
Goaltender tomorrow, Coach?
We're going to have one. Going to do it. I'm going to play one. Hopefully only one.
Looking at the other end, the power play, I think it was 16 scoring chances. You talked about the attack and things like that and the urgency. Did you see that last night? 'Cause it looked like you said, a lot of good looks.
There would be far more in the power play that we liked than that we didn't like. It truly is mindset over structure right now. We're trying to get more pucks to the net, more attacking plays to the net, not stay on the perimeter as much. And that's going to be a year-long process. But, what I liked was the power play didn't score, and they didn't seem to change. They didn't slow down. They didn't try to fit things in. They didn't force a lot of pucks. We can go faster. We can finish on some of those plays, but we get 2 or 3 really good locks in the slot. Over time those are going to go for you.
Rudy in on that Bennett line. You liked what you saw last
I did. He had the one. Yeah, so I never introduced a negative. So I just, but yeah, I really liked it. I think he's. I would say in the last 3 games there was a little more. So we pounded those guys, Randy, for 5 days, right? So he probably took a whole chunk of players that were just surviving, and then when we came off him, his game got a little bit better. But a couple of different things. There's an offensive zone play where he's just stick on puck and he's chasing the guy all over the ice, and then the guy launches it up. I love that. He's on the puck. I think he fits style-wise with the other 2 guys. They're going to be hard to play against. They're going to be in heavy areas. I'm happy. And I think, at one point, he's very, very quick. I think he reached max speed on our team last night. He was the fastest guy at some point in the game. So there's some good there.
Yeah, Bennett just said just moments ago, he said he just likes how he complements Key and Kachuk and keeps his feet moving.
Yep. They're going to – so on each line, you've got kind of Reinhardt with 2 very quick players, and really Tkachuk is with 2 guys that can really move. Benny goes through the middle very, very quickly. So that you need that speed component. It's almost like our third line too. Lusty's getting up to speed. Lundy's very, very quick. And both Lombard and Hornquist cover an awful lot of ice. So we have 2 pieces of speed kind of with each line. I think with Rudy, when you are scratching and clawing to make it in the NHL, you become defined by your mistakes, because you're in that 3 or that 4th line hole. If you get a couple of turnovers, you're not going back out. At the same time, he's got skill and he wants to show it. How else is he going to get in the lineup unless he makes those plays? What I'm hoping for with that line is he can play there long enough that he develops that true confidence as a player. It's when not to make a play. When you got enough points and you're getting enough action that you just put it in behind, or you just make the smart, safe play and not force things. So I've found those kind of errors have diminished each game. He had the one and then just across the blue line last game, but we fought like hell to make sure it didn't get to our net. So he also needs to learn from the coach. I can make a mistake out here, and I'm still up next shift.
Paul, what's it been like to have Matthew Tkachuk on your team as opposed to having a coach against the team?
Yeah, that's a completely different dynamic. You don't. The real pleasure there is getting to know him as a person, as a man, how much he likes to talk about hockey. What I've enjoyed the most is the way he's treated the support staff. Right? So you got a young man who's an elite player in this league. You always kind of watch that. How do you take, he took the trainers out for dinner, I think the first week he was here. He's very kind and giving to all the people. And then he gets out in the ice and he's an angry young man. So I like that. I like getting to know those guys. His hand skills, I knew they were good, but I didn't realize how good they were. So I'll tell you what I told him today. I thought when I walked off the bench last night that he hung behind the goal line too much. And then I watched it, and he was right like 95% of the time. So he will be a player as a coach that you learn from. Watch him play over and over, and I'll start to get a better understanding of when to release back behind the net. You're not cheating the game. His anticipation skills behind, really, really strong. So I've really enjoyed it. He's multifaceted. He's much more than just the guy that you see every time there's a scrum on the ice.
Thanks so much.